Hi, welcome to Anmaree's workshop where I make stuff and I hope you make stuff too. This is part of my Pastimes in Paradise series. I'm a retired school teacher, librarian, crafter, maker, and I decided to share some of the makes that I make during the month simply because I love to make things. It's part of my artistic expression. I do not necessarily have places to wear all these things to, but like I said before in my previous videos, someone will come along, I will donate, and my stash is deep. I've been sewing since I was 11 and I'm 58. So I've been sewing a long time, and I sew in a lot of venues. I quilt and make household things as well as craft as well as clothes. But these are my September makes. Because I live out of the country and my tropical climate is not going to take me into my favorite season, which is fall. I love fall. Fall's my favorite season. Not so much here in Jamaica. So, all the fall things I made in the past, I'm still holding on. One day, this plague will leave us and I will visit in fall and get to wear some of those things. But I think this might be one of my last videos for the year, unless I do some craft and I have some quilts in the work that I might drag out. But once again, this is an opportunity to share. I love following all of you other people who are also makers and seeing what you see, because sometimes you see a pattern or do a craft and I'm like, oh, I didn't see it that way. So come along for the journey. I will insert me wearing the clothes as well as any other pertinent information. Some of my patterns, like I said, my stash is deep, so some of my patterns might be out of print, but I have been able to find quite a few things on eBay or Etsy when I find a pattern I really love, but I'm no longer that size. It's not in my size range or something like that, and I want to, so I've been able to do that. But you might have some of these in your stash. My very first one is Vogue 1116. Now, I chose this just because I thought these pants were very interesting and I thought the jacket was spectacular. Now, just to show you, oh, the light today is so strong. Okay, here we go. There we are. That's the line drawing. Okay, and what I found so very interesting about this is, and just goes to show, just because you're an old sewer doesn't mean you can get jammed up. I looked at the line drawing and saw the buttons on the back and the buttons on the front and thought, oh, that's odd. I think they made a mistake. They never make a mistake. You're not paying attention to the instructions. So this jacket, which was a delight to me, has buttons on the back as well as buttons on the front, but they do not include buttonholes. They want you to use snaps. Now, I took an online class with Tom Ford, and he had some beautiful Italian fabric, and it had huge buttons, and this is what they did. They did not pierce the material with buttonholes. They actually put the buttonhole on the top and a snap on the bottom so that there was no actual buttonhole. So let me tell you some of the things that were wonderful about this jacket. First of all, there was a 3-level piping tucks at the bottom, which made the coat kind of bell out. I had this green poplin from a long time ago. I used it to make a Cynthia Rowley jacket that if I have a picture I will insert it. All these little details, and this fabric is enough to express all those details. And I lined the inside with some leftover Ankara fabric that I had, because once you see this green and you know you have this green, they go together, right? So it is a delight, and hopefully I will insert a picture of me wearing it here. And it was very challenging to make. Not so much, I think the technique, not so much in the execution, is just you had to be patient about the tucks. You had to match things up in the back because, see how it slips open in the back and in the front. And you had to listen to the instruction because I wanted to go ahead and do what I thought was going on. And that's not what was going on. It was like two halves of a pattern, right, that were connected at the neck. So it's like it had a back door and a front door. It was a delight to sew. And I have less makes this month because I'm trying to do more challenging things. So I hope you like this one. This is the jacket. Now for the pants. Now just a reminder, let me put it over here, about these pants, y'all. If you can see that they have this little bump out section and they tie in the back. This is the front and this is the back. This is what they look like up close, right? So funky, so interesting. I'm not a jeans girl, but I love to work with denim. I don't know how that all works out, but so I made them in this denim that I got from, I believe, Joann's Fabrics years ago. Once again, my stash is deep and old, like me. So I made them in this applique denim. They tie in the back. They are fabulous, and hopefully I'll have a picture of me wearing them here or close by. And they were a joy to make. They were a joy to make. Now, the bump out section that you see is like a square stitched in, so you kind of have to really pay attention how it lines up. But I would recommend this pattern. It was so very interesting. It is such a very interesting departure. Well, it's not a departure from things I would wear, but it's the kind of fun stuff that you would see by a designer. And this is by the Andrea Katz Objects is her collection, and this is one of the ones I've made from her. I think the other one, I've cut it out, but I don't think you haven't seen it yet. All right, moving on. Now, as I said in my last two videos, I made Tom and Linda Platt fan. I love the vibe. I love their clothes. But I had not sewn a lot of them. So since I had most of the patterns, since I've retired, I've taken an interest in making them. And I made this one here, Vogue 1737. And I have to tell you how I made it so that you could understand my method. Now, whenever I have something as challenging as this dress, does it say plus difficile? No, it says average, moins facile. Okay. All right. So whenever I have something like this that has a lot of work in it, it looks simple, but it has a lot of work with it. I try and see if there's something else I want to sew in the same color range at the same time so that I can have them going along at the same time. This dress I did over 2 weeks because remember, I do small bursts of sewing every day, and then after a time something pops out every couple of days, All right, so this I made out of this Italian Georgette, and I will show a picture of me wearing it here. All right, and what took so long was all of the baby hems at the bottom. Now this Georgette I saw at Fabric Mart for $1.99, and my philosophy on the $1.99 sales racks in different fabric stores is that's where I go to make something spectacular that takes 8, 9, 10 yards. or something crazy like that, that's where I go. So that way my feelings aren't hurt if it doesn't work out. But sometimes the simplest thing done with the grandiosity of that much yardage comes out so beautifully. And this is so very beautiful. It has a regular sleeve and a little thing, I don't know what to call it, included in the sleeve. So the sleeve flutters, the bottom flutters, and I actually do have somewhere to wear this. I am going to a wedding 2 weeks before my son's wedding, and I intend to wear this. I have gold shoes, gold accessories. I'm not sure. I'm making this before I have the pictures. I might be wearing the whole thing so you can see what the whole thing looks like. Now there's one thing that I learned from Viv Mom. I have a whole new, and I'll include a link to her channel somewhere around here. Viv Mom Sews I feel like she's a kindred spirit, and because she'll go, well, if I can get my head through it, why am I putting the zipper in? And I felt the very same way, because this is 5 layers of georgette, and I really did not believe that the zipper was going to sit right. I just didn't think so. But it's so thin, I thought, I'm going to omit the zipper. My head fits through the top. It fits like a dream. So I'm very pleased with it. I'm not sure if this particular Tom and Linda Platt is still in the books. But once again, there's eBay, and there's also Etsy, if you're so inclined to make the very same thing. This is the long version. I have not made the short version. I have so many patterns. Sometimes I'm not going to be able to double something if it's not a staple. But I'm so looking forward to wearing this. I think I'm going to make a mask to go with it too. All right, next. Now, this next pattern, if you're like me and you catalog all your patterns, I guess that's the librarian in me, and you go through your skirts, you realize you may have bought this pattern several times. or is it just me? I don't think it's just me. Anyway, this is a wrap skirt, and what intrigued me when I saw it, let me come over here, the lighting's better, is that it was double-sided, and then it was edged with bias tape. And I love myself some bias tape. It must be the quilter in me. Anyway, so I decided to do that, and I found there is a clearance section in my local fabric store here in Jamaica. And they have the most unusual things, and I don't know where they're all coming from, but I live for that section. So I made a double-sided skirt with Ankara fabric on one side and black binding on one side, and check this out. This is a flocked Duchess satin kind of thing that I found on the clearance aisle for, if I do the conversion, about $1 something a yard, 60 inches wide. I absolutely love it. So this skirt can be worn on either side, and I'll tell you the different thing I did with it. I separated the hems because I felt that when it hung, and I let it hang overnight just to release itself, I felt if I put them both together and enclosed them in the bias, eventually, because they're 2 different types of fabric, I was going to have some puckering. So I kind of liked it being loose, and so when I wear it, and I'll install that, I think here, it moves. It like a 1950s skirt, like it gave it more body. So I used a cotton bias tape on the Ankara fabric, and I used a satin bias tape on this. And in the future, I will show you the jacket I made. Of course, it's double-sided, because if we're going to reverse, we might as well keep on reversing. And I made one to match this, and I also have another one of these because they were so much fun I had to make 2. So hold on a minute. Okay, I made two because I loved them so much. And I found this Ankara fabric with silver on it. And if I can find one, gigantic stars. All right, this fabric is from the house of Mama Wata. I'm not exactly sure where the previous green one came from, if it came from the same house of Mami Wata, but this is the other side of it, which is another flocked piece of satin. Well, not satin, like, what would you call it? Dupont? No, it's not silk. I'll figure out and include it. I'll write it around here somewhere. But it was this purple flock. It was on the $1.99 section also. I have also cut out a double-sided jacket to go with it. And I just love it. I shall insert me wearing it here. And I'll tell you a funny story about the shirt that goes with it, which is the exact color of the silver. That's one of those weird things that you order, not from Wish, but from Instagram or one of those things, and you order the shirts because they look so cool, and they come and they don't look anything like what you order. So you kind of buyer beware. You kind of have to order and take it with a sense of humor. I will include the link to my other YouTube video where I talk about by Dart and I unbox a bunch of things that we bought that way. But one of the shirts that they sent us that was supposed to be white turned out to be the exact silver, and that's what you see me wearing in that picture. But these skirts are delightful. Remember, I did not join the bottoms. I did this taffeta. That's the word. Flock taffeta. But this purple, I had to buy it, right? It's just amazing. And then I came home and I remember the Ankara that I've been saving because of these stars. I didn't want to just use it for anything. I wanted to use it for something that all the beauty of it would be shown. I didn't want to break it up into small pieces. All right, so yeah, it's gorgeous. Now these are charm patterns. Gertie has a channel, charm. I think I'll put an iCard on it. She has a whole channel. She does that those vintage inspired patterns, really gorgeous stuff. And I have made her L'Amour pattern in many different ways. One of the ways I made it was reversible, and I will show that here. And I made one for me and one for my youngest daughter. And sometimes, like for Jamaican Independence, which is green, black, and yellow, we can each wear whichever side we're going to wear. And we coordinate with the colors of our country for the celebration. All right, so these are the two sides. This is the green, the deep green side, and this is the white side. So I made one for her and one for me, because since we both have the dresses, they're the same. When I was putting them together, I decided to interface, because the fabric was very light, even though it was an Ankara. Like I said before in a previous video, you have to wash your Ankara, because sometimes you'll find that it's like, I feel like this is 100% polyester. And sometimes it's 100% cotton, so the hand might be different. So when I decided to make these, even though they were double-sided, they were very light, and I wanted a bit more structure in my little bolero jackets. And I love this edging, these little tiny black pom-poms. I ordered them from Amazon, and I used the entire bag. It was like 9 yards or something like that, and then I moved on, and I think I have another item with it in there, and I waited, and then I put that there. And the little cap sleeves that stick up, I used some leftover suede, faux suede, and then I put cotton on the other side, right, and they stick up and everything. So you'll see those in those pictures. Did I say it? Maybe I'll put it here again if I'm wrong. Alrighty, so these are just little cutie things that I thought you might like. One of the things I like of crafting also is sometimes you have an opportunity to use some scrap materials you have to make something really fun and fabulous. Not taken too seriously. If you like it, that's all that matters. And in this case, I made Cynthia Rowley's 2350. I don't think it's in the pattern book anymore. I don't know how long ago I had that, but I always liked these not duffel, what would you call it? A hobo bag? Or not really a hobo. Well, these sack bags. I really like them. And I was standing at the checkout counter at my local store, and I saw this trim, and I thought, it's really strong looking. I could really use it. So I decided to make this handbag out of snaps, hook and eyes, right? So it's really cute. They had this pleatheristic, they had a little piece of it left over. I don't know how much it cost and everything. And I had the black webbing. I had the D-ring. I had these from a curtain I made to make at the top, and it's so cool. You can fit a lot of stuff in it, and they had the tassels at the fabric store as well. It's lined, and it was fun to make. It was nice to make something a little bit unusual, a little bit different. So now I'm in love with this stuff. I'm gonna get some shoes and everything. I don't know what I've done to myself. Anyway, so if you don't think you can make a bag, you're wrong. You can make a bag. Matter of fact, you can make many bags. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to see lots of reincarnations of this for several people's Christmas gifts. Now, sometimes you wonder, does the walker choose the path or the path the walker? In other words, do you find a piece of fabric that inspires you to do something else? Or do you find a pattern and you look for the fabric? Well, in this case, I have always loved this Butterick Lizette pattern 6244. I love this kind of jacket that opens like a blanket, and I can't tell you how many times I've bought it in different variations, and I love this skirt, this dress. But I wasn't inspired because I have a couple of dresses that were, similar to this. But once again, I was at that clearance section at my fabric store, and they had the $1.99. They had this suiting. This yellow is finely yellow, black and white. I don't know, what would you call it? A check? Something that, I hope you can see the yellow. I'm going to try and get real close. All right, I have a few really spectacular yellow, black and white pieces as far as jewelry, like some African earrings. I've got I have a beautiful charmeuse shirt and stuff like that. And so when I saw this roll, I thought, well, you're going to have to come home with me. So I got the 6 yards of it, and which was enough to do this jacket, which is Lizette 6244, and I will show you a picture of me wearing it here, I hope. All right, and to do a skirt to go with it, because I already have some things that go under it. I got lots of things that will really make it pop. So I found new Look R10281. I think it has another number. I think it has a 8700 number, 8700 as well, because in my cataloging I took this out and I could not find the pattern. And then I realized, after going through almost my whole stash, which took an hour or so, is that it was also, that must have been when it was on the countertop, and then the 8700 was when it was inside the drawer. Okay, so I kind of remember that. So I did this skirt here that has this pull-up draw section. I was inspired by this whole look of a sweater, and then the pull-up ruched part here, and the boot. And I thought that would be nice. I would like to wear that with a nice fluffy white black sweater, and I have a wonderful black sweater with zippers on the sleeves with a little toggle, and I thought, I'm going to finally make it. So I have that skirt right here. All right. And hopefully you'll see me wearing it over here with that black sweater if I find that black sweater. All right. And once again, you can adjust how high it goes up with these strings. Now, at the moment, when I'm showing you this, I have not attached the tassels to the end, and that's because I'm going to use an earring looper thing that opens and closes, because when I wash it, I want to be able to take these tassels off. Everything I wash here in Jamaica, I line dry. It's one of the pleasures. I love to line dry things, but I want to be able to take the tassels off. And yeah, so I hope you like this too. Oh, it's raining while the sun shines. In Louisiana, they say the devil's beating his wife. Well, anyway, this last set of outfits that I made are something I really, really needed. I am currently, and I'll show a link to my other channel, I'm currently going on a weight loss venture and a greater health venture, and so a lot of my clothes, I have stepped out of one set of my clothes and I'm moving into another set, and so I needed some basics, like some hardcore. And I used to love, Lane Bryant used to put out some basics in khaki or black or navy that you could just use for all of the tops and bottoms. So I saw a roll of stretch khaki at my $1.99 section. They don't have anything for me currently. I think I've worn it out. Anyway, and I found this pattern, and I've had it, pardon all the writing on it. It had everything I needed. It had the short skirt with a little slit, the long skirt, it had the cool out, and it had the pants. So I went looking, look for material. I went looking there and found a roll of stretch. I don't know, gabardine, I think gabardine. Anyway, so there was enough to make the skirt, the cool outs, the pants, and I squeezed a jacket in, but that's a different pattern. I'll show you that. So let's see, is this the cool out? No. So this is the skirt with the cute little slit at the side, and for those of us who are apple shaped, the elastic waist. It lays flat and smooth, and so I can wear all of my things on top of it. It is perfect for here in Jamaica. I'm sure it'll be perfect for where you are. I absolutely love this pattern. I took a chance with this because this is for knits. This is for knits. None of the instructions are for 45-inch material. It's all 60-inch material. These are the line drawings. And for my apple shaped self, they're perfection. So this is the skirt, and I will show that. Ooh, let me move up. I'll show it over here. All right, so you can see how it goes. It goes with half of my wardrobe, half of my tops it goes with. And then this is the cool outs, and these are fun. These are the cool outs. I used a wider elastic at the top, but it lays flat against my belly. Alrighty, and then I made the pants, which is a huge wide leg. And I use that super wide elastic. It lays flat against my belly, and I will intersperse the pictures here. I'm not sure if these are the culouts, and then I'll give a little space for the pants. Half of my wardrobe goes with these pieces, and for the ones that are left, I have navy and black for. They're going to be great workhorses for my wardrobe. And my last piece is this Simplicity Hacking pattern. You know what? I think this might be the 8700. This might be it. I will find out for sure and write it at the bottom of this video. I chose the jacket, this one right here, number 4, because it had the cut short sleeves, it had the ruffle at the bottom, it was boxy, and it had the button at the top. And the reason I chose it is because the fabric I had left after making the skirt, the culotte, and the pants, I had just enough left to make this jacket. And I wanted a jacket big enough to go over any kind of shirt thing that I made within reason. And to be able to travel with and be crinkle proof and everything. So it has the pockets, it has the shorter sleeves, and it has the ruffle, and it's in this lovely oatmeal. I did have to improvise on the yoke because I didn't have enough for both the front and the back yoke. And let's see what else about this. Now, I'm going to confess, I believe I may have cut the shorter sleeve, because when I try it on, it's not where I want it. I want it so that it's at the length that it shows my bracelets. And I think right now it's up here. I think I cut the sleeve that you cut when you're going to put the ruffle on. So when I go through my fabric that's left over, if I find a piece big enough, I'm going to add the ruffle on this. If not, it's okay. And this is what it looks like on. And so that's it for this month. Slightly less than last month, but more complicated things. I so enjoyed them. There are other, that's funny. So I'm going to, I might have one more video in me this year. You guys have moved on to fall and winter, and I miss making coats and jackets and all that sort of stuff, but I really don't have a need for it. So I might move into quilting and making gifts for Christmas and stuff like that. So we'll see you on the next video. Keep making. Make yourself happy. Enjoy it. Take care.